So, spring is coming in powerfully. Lots of beautiful, bold, new energies whirling in the ethers. So, I have been called to do a little clearing, cleansing, welcoming, and some card pulls, and maybe there might be some words. So when I saw the screen, 44 or 444 might be coming up as a number for some of us, if we believe divine guidance and protection. And lots coming through the budding flowers. Snowdrops have been out for a while. Wild garlic, I've mentioned, I've been foraging, daffodils in the UK, and just lots of blossoming and blooming. The feminine feels quite buoyant and playful. Maybe some of the animals that might be coming through are rabbits, if you see them in the fields, and horses. This obviously being the fire horse year. And I am going to be just shuffling and working with the earth magic cards today. It was gifted to me by a beautiful soul. Reading, already clearing. A few just fell out onto this singing bowl, but I'm going to carry on shuffling just to connect with a collective energy. I've done some cleansing for myself today, so I just want to connect with a broader message for everybody, not just the feminines who might be really tapping into some ethereal, elemental messages right now. Okay, so bottom of the deck, lotus flower unfoldment. And I say bottom because as I'm shuffling, Milky Way and perspective came out. And I think perhaps that's what a lot of us might have been feeling for a while, is this like galactic perspective, this bigger picture, like pulling back from the detail, which I believe we were speaking about last year. I think as the blossoming and the blooming comes, you want to see the whole canvas of the landscape of our mind, projects, focus come together. And Milky Way with perspective is perhaps the higher realms tapping into, not tapping, they're ever present, the higher realms holding and supporting consciousness expansion right now. And when we look to the stars, we may feel a deeper connection to sometimes that we feel when we're around lots of people, when we sit out and we look at the sky at night. We might be resonating with certain stars or formations, and I don't know why this is coming up because I don't always see his stuff, but I am subscribed. Is it Scanner Guy on YouTube, who has a very powerful telescope and picks up some quite amazing things. I just saved his latest one in my interesting viewing playlist on YouTube, but he picks up some quite amazing clusters and things in the sky. So when Milky Way perspective is coming up, I think it's just about everybody having their own purpose and mission as an individual being, but then pulling back and seeing the wider picture and having a perspective of perhaps everybody's moving through things differently right now, and spring perhaps may not be the new beginning that many people desire, as we're still tying up loose ends, but there's something to sit with there about perspectives. No one is right or wrong. There is no particular right or wrong way. As long as we have our moral compass, moral guidance, our integrity intact, and love at the core, perspective is perhaps something that we might want to look at right now. They're asking me to pull yes, usually 3 is a number that's coming through. Maybe that's because it's March, the 3rd month, but the first for many in terms of this being the new astrological year, and the start of Aries season. So I'll just see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Yeah, in terms of 3 being a number that, oopsie, is coming through for me when I usually pick for the collective. Oh yeah, okay, that's beautiful. All right, bottom of the deck, nature spirits are present and connecting. So I'm staring at these 2 beautiful trees that greet me every rising outside. So forest and breath is at the bottom. So the first one, the second card out of this pool come out was tsunami, wake up call. So as our bodies, if we connect to the seasons, the changing seasons, even subconsciously, you know, through our dreams, through our sleep, through our food, that certain things within us might be changing. And again, the moon, and it's the night sky. The sky seems to be very important at the minute. After Milky Way and then tsunami. So we've just gone through a new moon. This season as well, building might be bringing things to fruition from the past full moon until now. But in terms of this being spring and a wake-up call, it's as the light's growing. You know, we're getting to longer days, brighter light in the west, and this can be the call for clarity that many of us might need if we have been sitting on something, or if something has been niggling at us, if something has been perhaps in turbulent waters, perhaps not rested, restlessness. There could be something that is spurring us on to take action with this blooming and blossoming, this very, I feel, yellow solar energy. Different to summer solstice energy, the sun, the spring. This is a gentle but bold introduction to new seasons, and then following the wake-up call is Gaia, which I always love, especially when we are talking about spring and elementals and nature. For me, it feels like Gaia hears us, guys listening. Sorry, I'm already clearing. And from Milky Way to tsunami to Gaia, it is very grounded in ethereal, magical, I feel, energy. And so with Gaia and nurturing, which you may have seen this design on another card as well, is it's a time to look after ourselves. You know, we might have been hibernating like a sleepy bear for the past couple of months if you're in the West, or it might be a different story if you're watching from somewhere else. But in terms of what my ancestral DNA is potentially programmed to, is this 4 seasons and spring being a spring baby. The blooming and blossoming of March, April, May, and having just awoken to these equinox energies, spring equinox energies, and the flowers are out, is Gaia is supporting this movement, this momentum of forward action, and nothing needs to be perhaps external right now. These could all be internal realizations. They could all be a rebalancing of our chakras if we believe things have been a bit out of alignment or in the darkness, or taking rest. And as we have cultivated that rest, as we come out of hermiting, cave mode, more challenging periods internally, if some people have been experiencing that, then talk to nature. Go to the valleys, connect with the flowers. The stag, there's a few animals here that are coming through. A bear I can see, and we mentioned horses. And I saw lots of butterflies yesterday, but the stag, and connecting with that 4/4, the 444 number about protection, you may be connecting with stag energy or deer, fawn, this new sort of season. So they were the 3 cards from the Earth Magic deck, and I am considering pulling a few cards from other 1111 on the clock. I will go to the Mermaid deck, which I don't usually have on me, so this is quite a nice way to reconnect with me for the water, because there's lots of things about the water in the UK at the moment, and it is potentially stopping wild swimming because of certain naughty things that are going on, but I digress. We'll keep it in the love vibration for here. And yeah, many people mentioning at the minute, water is the past, air is the future. I think if we ground ourselves in all elements every day, we're on an aligned path. We're on a powerful path, and we will continue to get support and messages. However lost we might feel, one of them's come out. I'll ask for another 2. And yeah, even if we're surrounded by lots of love externally and people, this might be part of our journey at the minute that's potentially very lonely, very solitary, but it's okay. You know, we're just coming out of this hibernation cave period, potentially. All these metaphors might not mean things to people within a 2-season environment, sunny season, rainy season, but it will resonate with who it needs to resonate with. Oh, 2 flown out. Okay, so there's 3, and really happy that these are coming out. So bottom of the deck, the future, with a beautiful mermaid looking into her bubble or glass into the future, which also does link with the Milky Way perspective. You know, just pulling back from the day-to-day detail and minutiae, which we can always get wrapped up in and overthink. This is us perhaps being, there's a turtle here, perhaps being guided by ancient energies. But anyway, that's bottom of the deck, so I just wanted to mention that. But the first one that came out of the Mermaid deck is awareness. And a time where the light is brighter, where certain truths may have been hidden from us, when fantasy and illusion might feel more comfortable for some of us to sit in, truths may be being revealed right now. And awareness can be external and internal. You know, once we observe our own behaviours and patterns and needs, we are better placed to put our boundaries up and to know who we need to be around and who we don't. No one is here to service our needs, but in relationships where we co-create safety, emotional safety, where we co-create, I won't say love, as love is the default, where we co-create experiences to expand our mind, body and soul experience on the realm. I feel awareness has come up because it's linking with the other cards about perspective. So just being mindful that as truths might be being revealed, we take time as the season moves on, as the sun grows into summer solstice, as we get more clarity on things. We're just going slow with decisions, perhaps. And then middle card that popped out was love, which can never be talked about and shared enough. Not everybody knows it. Not everybody knows it in the way we individually know it and receive it. And sometimes that takes time to decode among people, among relationships. But may we all feel love in ourselves, love ourselves, share love wherever and however possible. And try to maintain, even though it's difficult all the time, we'll just try to be conscious about tapping into that vibration and how we feel when we are feeling seen and heard and loved, without expectation or why am I blocked on that one? Without expectation. So love, maybe it is a time, as we've sort of come out of sleepy bear mode, perhaps that reference may not resonate with everyone, but is I know I've been sort of in a relative internal cave for various reasons that will become apparent in the future, but as we come out of that, I trust that we haven't been neglecting ourselves, our self-love practices. We might need to come back to our spiritual practices more at this time to connect with the energies, to guide us into this new year, which again at the bottom of the deck was the future. We may need to start our self-care rituals, our self-massage, our creative photo shoots, or however we desire to connect with our physical bodies, and to love ourselves more. And then third card that's come out from the Merpeople, the Mermaid deck, is gratitude. With a little crabby down there, so crab, June, Cancer season might be resonating or coming up for some people as perhaps a three month, like the next season on from now, but we won't get ahead of ourselves as we like to stay in the present moment. And I guess the reason why I hesitated for the minute is because I was actually connecting I felt like the spirits from where I've just been, the water spirits, were showing me gratitude, were helping me to remember gratitude when things don't look like they're going your way, or, you know, there's divine detours, or divine detours. If there's a reroute from the Americans, reroute, or redirections, we can't really judge that. We need to be accepting of bigger, bolder energies at the minute, and to take a higher perspective, perhaps, because I believe we are only just coming into the awareness of certain things, and things might need to land, and we need to process, and everybody processes differently, and that takes time, and also solitude sometimes. It's a very long message already, but you know, it's how we do sometimes. And I am going to the plant medicine deck. I think it's called herbal deck, I can't remember. And I want to connect with collective energies as well, because there may be some medicines that, as a wellness professional but not, you know, consultant, I have to say, you have to hear your own advice on this. Okay. they're very, very jumpy. So there's obviously some medicine here for the people, we the people. But it's nice because I haven't, one's come out. I haven't worked with, okay, I just wanted to come out twice. All right, so it's nice, bottom of the deck, 33 teacher. That's actually my number, my card. Wolves might be an animal. I saw one the other day, actually. It was domesticated, but it was a wolf, and it was quite very strong energy to walk around in the woods. Arnica, which is for bruising. Maybe we have a bruising in the heart, but external bruising. Arnica is a great teacher. But that's just bottom of deck. So that was coming up quickly. But the first card that came out as a number 927 card is a Reishi retreat. So the fungi are speaking, and Reishi powder, Reishi tea. There's lots of different ways to consume this medicinal treat. I can't think, my words have gone because there's a few things coming through from this card. But essentially, it might be something that you're already taking or drawn to read more about. And the message for retreat for me is still, like, I'm saying the energies are bold and it's solar spring energy, but I still think we're going slow with our forward movements and forward momentum. So to not rush anything as we come out of the retreat space, or those of us that might need to retreat back from too much peopling and just come back to ourselves to make a few decisions rather than hearing external. A lot of people just like to give advice, and people might say that I do this on this channel, but people like to insert themselves into other people's business, and we've all got very different brains and very different needs. So the second card that came out, which again is connecting to, I feel, the love card, the way she's holding her body, the way she has her hands in her hair, the way she's touching herself, is Mandrake 45, and again another number 9, so 999 might be closing of chapters for people, is Mandrake, sensuality, a powerful root, and there's a lot of Egyptian energy coming through here, is self-love practices, sensuality. How do we bring the romance into our everyday lives, even if we are not with another physically? How do we accentuate, how do we lean into our sensuality so that we are not repressing anything which is unhealthy? 2332 was on the clock, which is a mirror reverse, so there could also be some interesting perspectives. To come back to the first card, is between divine masculine, divine feminine at the minute with regard to sensuality. And it's not a 9 card, but it is a 19. There is a 9 present, so there aren't 3 9s on the cards. 19, Tulsi, is, I believe, Holy Basil for wealth. And peacock energy. I was saying Egypt, it could be about the kings and the queens. There's a lot of royal and regal energy coming through today. I don't know if it's because I've been connecting with some different stones recently, or things that I'm feeling among the collective with regard to it being a very different year, being a very different spring season, and the abundance that comes with these flowering, blooming days ahead. So I don't think I'll speak too much more because there's a lot going on. But there's just a few cards that might resonate with one or two of you, a few messages that I feel as part of the collective energies, and a few observations I've made from others around me at the minute. And I say observations, not judgments, because no one's doing it right or wrong. We just have to follow our heart. And where I can say that I'm finding peace and harmony at the minute is within the beauty of nature and in those essential self-love practices. So on that note, I'm going to drink my nettle tea. Sending love and gratitude for everybody who's hopped on, and yeah, go say hi to the flowers.